Hello, students. I would like to welcome you to Early Childhood Education in 2022 here at Kishwaukee Education Consortium. This presentation will be a roadmap for our Spring 22 semester, so you can see just where we're going, the kind of things we will be doing, and the expectations that I have for students in our class. First of all, let's review some goals that we have for this semester. First, we want to explore a variety of learning topics relevant to working with young children and families. I'm calling this a tour of topics. I was able to review with Ms. Sherman the topics that you covered in the first semester, and then I explored a variety of topics. I narrowed the topics down to select the ones that I thought would be most helpful for you to learn about in our second semester of early childhood education. A second goal is to learn and practice skills that are helpful for working with young children. As someone who has worked with young children since 1987, a long time ago, I have learned and developed a lot of skills. I am not the perfect teacher, but I do want to share these skills with you so you can use them in your work with young children. We want to learn about best practices for teaching young children. If I were sick and went to visit a doctor, I would want that doctor to use best practices, what is currently known about medicine and helping people as they try to help me with my illness. Same thing for teaching young children. We want to employ best practices, which are our current best knowledge of what is good for young children and their development. Next, I want us to have fun learning together. I went into teaching young children a long time ago, and I did this because it was fun to work with children. I want for our classroom here to be very similar to a classroom with young children, and I want us to have fun learning together. I also want for us to care and respect each other in our classroom community. And I use the term classroom community because, again, I want to model our classroom with high school students after a classroom with very young students, preschool age children. In a preschool age classroom, children care about each other and they respect each other. They are forming a family where they know each other and play with each other regularly. So I want for us in our classroom for us to care for and respect each other. At this point in the live class, I asked students what were some other goals that they'd like to pursue this semester. Next, what I want to do is review our weekly plans and routines. Just what are we going to be doing each week in our classroom? On Monday, what I want to do is to review any topics that we talked about the prior week. Sometimes when we revisit a topic, it makes it easier for us to remember that topic as we move forth. I also want to talk about our weekly learning topic. What topic in early childhood education we're going to be learning about that week. Also on Monday, you will receive your weekly assignment. We're hoping to have one assignment each week as something that you can do in class and turn in class. Tuesday is going to be a continuation of our weekly learning topic. So if we don't finish up on Monday, we'll continue it on Tuesday, or we might do some activities that really focus on what we learned on Monday. You will be given assignment work time. I really want for students taking this class to be able to do all the work for this class during the class rather than having a lot of homework at night. I really want you to be able to focus your homework at night on other classes that do regularly assign homework. On Wednesdays, Miss Maritza is going to present a lesson to you. Miss Maritza is trying to figure out if she wants to work with high school students, middle school students, preschool students, just where she's at. So she's going to provide some lessons for you to help you learn more about early childhood education and for her to explore ages that she might want to work with. On Wednesdays, you're also going to have some assignment work time where you can focus on the assignment that you were given this week, the assignment from me, and possibly an assignment from Miss Maritza. And we're also on Wednesday going to begin to prep for Early Learning Center Friday, which I'm going to talk about shortly. Thursdays, we'll continue prepping for Early Learning Center Friday. We will complete this week's assignments, which I'm asking you to turn in by the end of the class period whenever possible. If you're unable to get it done by the end of the class period, by 11:59 on Thursday evening. Then on Friday, we're going to have Early Learning Center Friday. What I have done is set our classroom up into different interest areas, including dramatic play, art, sensory table, block area, table toys, and reading area. It's kind of a condensed classroom because we don't have a lot of space, because we also have desks for high school students, but it's the classroom that we're going to use. And on Fridays, we're going to take turns. We're going to have some of you be teachers and some of you be preschoolers. We're going to do activities in our mini classroom so you can practice being teachers. So I'm looking forward to Fridays as our Early Learning Center Friday. Below, I've listed the learning topics that we're going to focus on this semester. First topic is exploring careers working with young children. And for this one, I really want to dive into what are some different options. I think you're taking this class at KEC because you're interested in working with young children. So with you, I want to explore the various options that are out there. We're going to then talk about learning through play. Play really is how children learn, and we're going to dive into this topic just to see how they learn and what we can do to support that learning. We're going to talk about classroom schedules and routines. Children need to have predictable days so they know that each day they're going to do various activities one after another. A common schedule in an early childhood classroom might be to have arrival time, then some child choice time in interest centers, then they may gather together for a group time, then they may use the bathroom, then they may have snack, then outdoor time. So whatever that schedule is, it's probably going to be a consistent routine followed each day, and that gives children the ability to predict what's going to happen first, second, third, and so on. We're going to talk one week about classroom arrangement and interest centers. What we have in our classroom is a mini early childhood classroom, but we're going to really look at early childhood classrooms and how to go about arranging them. We're going to look at classrooms starting with an infant classroom and going through early elementary classrooms. We're also going to look at interest centers, which are the different things set up in classroom where children can engage and learn. We're going to talk about curriculum planning approaches, so the different ways that teachers approach planning for what's going to happen in the classroom to support children's learning. We're going to talk about child guidance tools. So guiding children's behavior is often one of the challenges that teachers face. So what I want to do is share with you a bunch of tools that I've used over the years and learned about over the years that I think can help you in your work with children. I purposefully use the word tools because a tool works best when we practice using that tool. Another thing to know is that some tools work better with some students and other tools work better with other students. So we're going to learn about child guidance tools. We're going to learn about building relationships with young children, connections and conversations. Relationships are one of the foundations of everything that we do working with young children. When I work with students and I know them well and they know me well, I respect them, they respect me, they're much more inclined to do the things that I'm asking them to do. So we want to really focus on relationship building. We're going to spend some time learning about art, learning about what art is helpful in supporting children's development, as well as what art isn't very helpful in supporting children's development. We're also going to focus on the curriculum area or the interest area of blocks and building. What can kids learn through blocks? How do we arrange a block area, etc. Another classroom area that we're going to learn about is dramatic play and housekeeping. Housekeeping is when things are set up in a classroom to look like someone's home. You're going to have a kitchen table, a stove, a refrigerator, etc. and have babies and so on, and then the kids can play out different roles that we would see happening in a house. Dramatic play expands upon this, and dramatic play might be different themes. You might have a hospital set up one week, a veterinarian's office, an automotive repair shop, etc. So we're going to talk about dramatic play and housekeeping. We're going to talk about group time essentials. So a common part of early childhood classrooms is usually group time. This is a time when the kids gather together with a teacher, and they gather for the purpose of reading a story, singing songs, doing movement activities, etc. We're going to talk about that and do some practicing with that. We're going to talk about classroom management approaches. Just what do I do as a teacher to help my classroom to operate efficiently, to help kids to get along well in the classroom? What are some of those classroom management approaches? We're also going to look at healthy and safe learning environments. What can I do as a teacher to make sure I'm providing a safe environment for my children to learn and a healthy environment that supports their wellness? We're going to talk about outdoor play. Outdoor play is an important part of every single day in the early childhood classroom. So we're going to talk about what we do in outdoor play and hopefully go for a tour of a playground nearby. We're also going to focus on meeting and exceeding state and quality standards. DCFS is the agency in Illinois that provides regulations for how child care centers are to operate. So we're going to look at the DCFS standards. We're also going to take a look at early learning standards and accreditation standards. We're also going to talk about ingredients for being a successful early childhood teacher. Many of you who are taking this class because you want to work with young children in some capacity. So during this week, we're going to identify the different ingredients that will be helpful for you as you pursue a career working with young children. We're also going to have a week where we look at books, reading aloud, promoting literacy. What can we do to help children become literate while they are in our classroom? So those are the learning topics that we hope to get to this semester. So I'm excited about that and hope you are as well. Next, I want to share with you just some general expectations of students in our class. First important one is to be here. When you're well, we want you to be here. Being here is important because you're going to be part of these conversations that we have. You're going to learn about the topics. You're going to have a chance to answer questions. You're going to just have a chance to really learn about early care and education by being here in class. I ask for you to come prepared to learn and participate. So come with an open mind, ready to learn new stuff. Come engaged, ready to participate in what we're doing. Come awake and come alert. So those are important things for you to get the most out of this class. I ask for you to bring your tools. Please bring your Chromebook, a notebook, etc. Whatever you need to participate in that class, please bring it. You're welcome to use a class Chromebook if needed, if you don't have a Chromebook or you forget yours on that particular day. I ask for you to be kind and respectful of others. Just like we are modeling our class effort or an early childhood class where kindness and respect is very important, it is very important in this class as well. So please be kind and respectful to your classmates. I ask for you to participate in class. We're going to have times of student sharing and other opportunities where we really ask you to engage and participate in class. I ask for you to use class time wisely for learning and completing work. We're together for an hour and a half each day, so that's quite a bit of time. So I ask you to really use that time wisely so you can learn and get your assignments done while you're in class. I ask for you to maintain a classroom atmosphere that allows all to work and concentrate. Some people, me included, need kind of a quiet atmosphere if I'm working, concentrating, trying to get something finished. So I ask for you to help to maintain an atmosphere that supports other students getting work done. Continued expectations. I ask for you to act like a professional teacher. So we want to be an example of appropriate classroom behavior and language. In an early childhood classroom, it's very important that we watch the language that we use, that we watch our behavior. Children are always watching us, always listening to us, and always learning from us. So I encourage you to act like a professional teacher, displaying good behavior and language. I ask for you to ask for my assistance when you need it, or ask assistance from your fellow students. I will be here. I'm happy to answer questions about assignments, early childhood education, the topics we're covering, etc. So please ask for assistance. Also, feel free to email me. If you ever have any questions, you can email me as well. I ask for you to talk, share, ask questions, and try to keep on the topic that we're on with our class. We want to learn about a lot of important topics, so we're going to try to stay on topic the best that we can. I ask for you to complete assignments by due dates. If you have something crazy going on in your life, if you have an illness or family emergency, you can ask for an extension, but I really want for you to focus on getting assignments done by due dates, and we're going to talk further about that shortly. I ask for you to listen to and participate in class presentations, saving your work to do for outside of presentation times. For example, if we're learning about art, we want you to focus on that learning rather than trying to do an assignment at the same time that we're talking and learning. Next, we're going to talk about assignments, types, and processes of assignments. I ask for you to complete the Google document whenever possible. What I've done is I have created a template for us to use where I'm going to fill out the spots in the purple and you're going to fill in the spots of the blue or green. This template is going to be something used for every single assignment so that you become familiar with it and know what's going on. If using a Google document doesn't work well for you, you could submit a paper copy as well, and I'm going to have these available for you if you need them. We're not going to review the format right now. However, I would encourage you to go to the original slides, Google Slides presentation, and then you can click on that on slide 7, and you can see what that template is going to look like. Grading is going to be the same as it was last semester, where it's 30% for attendance and 70% for assignments. I've chosen not to add any quizzes or tests or anything like that, but we're going to stick with 30% for being here and 70% for doing your assignments and doing them well. A little bit about grading. You're going to be able to get full credit when you turn it in by 11:59 p.m. on the due date. Partial credit will be earned up to 7 days after the due date. And then sadly, if you don't turn it in or turn it in more than 7 days after the due date, you'll get no credit. No credit could really hurt your grade, so I really encourage everybody to do every assignment as needed. I have a little calendar here to help me explain the due dates. So as you'll see, on January 3rd in this example is when the assignment was given to students. They're going to see that the due date is on Thursday the 6th, so they're going to have Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday to get that assignment done. Hopefully they'll hand it in by the end of the class period on Thursday, if not by 11:59 on that day. If you don't get that done, you can still earn possible credit the 7th through the 13th, or the next week after the original due date. So I encourage you, if you can't get it in the green period, to get it in the yellow period. If you don't turn it in or turn it in after that time, you won't be able to get any credit for that assignment. So you'll get a 0 for that project. Continuing with assignments, please you can use complete sentences, good grammar, and correct spelling when you do assignments for this class. And the reason I'm doing this is that in high school this is helpful, in college this is helpful, and in the work world this is helpful. As a classroom teacher, I was often making lesson plans that parents were going to read, so good spelling and grammar was important. I was writing newsletter articles. I was writing grant requests. I was doing all kinds of things, so it was very important for me to use complete sentences, good grammar, and correct spelling, and this is why I'm asking this of you. I want you to always remember that assignments are a reflection of who you are and the effort that you put into your school and into your work. At this point in the live presentation, we talked about questions or comments and assignments, and if you're watching this after the fact, feel free to ask me any questions that you would have regarding assignments, grading, and more. This portion is for some special information for the students who are doing internships and only coming to see us 1 day a week. So students are responsible for completing all the assignments. I ask for you to check Google Classroom and or your email on Monday mornings for assignments that are due on Thursday. After discussion in class, we decided that these assignments would actually be due on Friday by 11:59, so students attending on Friday could hand things in class on Fridays. If we ever have an assignment that's not going to be required of internship students, I will note that on the Monday assignment posting. If we have anything that is so classroom involved that you won't be able to do the assignment, then we will give you a waiver on that assignment. One thing that I'm doing that is not included in the slide presentation is I am taking the slides presentations and I'm creating a video of them that will be posted to YouTube so you're able to watch the presentation with my narration. I know that's not super exciting for you, but I really wanted to do that because oftentimes the slides presentation just provides some words and then I add to those words in the actual class presentation. So please utilize Google Classroom where you're going to see the assignment posting, you're going to see the Google Slides presentation, and then you're going to see a YouTube video of the presentation that I do in class. Lastly, just want to tell everyone that I'm new here. As you know, I started the day after Thanksgiving and observed in the classroom then, did some preparation for assignments then, but I'm new here, so I want to share a few things. Please bring work from other classes to do if we have spare time. I'm not really sure how long it's going to take for us to cover a topic and for you to work on assignments, so I don't want you to be twiddling your thumbs, and I want you to be able to use the classroom wisely. So if you don't have anything to do from me, you'll be able to treat the class as a study hall and do work that you have for other classes from your high school. Another thing is Google Classroom and related programs are new to me. I think I'm learning these things well, but I may have glitches on the way and ask you to be patient with me. I'm used to teaching preschoolers, so for my entire life, I really focused on teaching very young children. In my role as a director of a center, I also taught high school students, or I'm sorry, college students and the teachers in my program. So used to teaching preschoolers, but I do have some experience in working with older students and employees as well. I'm developing our class's curriculum and learning topics as we go. So a little bit to my surprise, I was thinking that I would have a pre-written curriculum listing the topics that I was to cover, when I was to cover them, but it was different than that. So I'm having fun developing our class's curriculum and topics as we go. And as I stated earlier, I'm really trying to identify topics that I think will be helpful for you to learn about working with young students. I ask you to please feel free to share feedback to help me learn. I want to be a very good teacher for you. I'm not used to teaching high school students, so please provide feedback for me if you have anything that would be helpful. I ask for you to please share any learning challenges privately with me. So if you have something, let's say you need additional time to work in an assignment, or you need some additional explanations of how to do something, or you have an IEP, or you have dyslexia, or if you have anything kind of personal like that, I ask for you to take a little bit of time, just come up and say, Mr. Kimmel, can we go talk in the hallway? And I will learn about what your challenge is, and that'll help me to be an effective teacher for you, teaching with that understanding in mind. I ask you to please bring any concerns directly to me. So if you're feeling overwhelmed by the class, it's best to bring that to me rather than take it to other students, because that won't really help anything. So if you have any concerns about anything, please bring them directly to me. I ask you to please also offer grace and understanding. As the slide states, I'm new here and I want to do my best, but I do need your grace and understanding as we go along. And at this point in the live presentation was a time where students could ask questions, share comments, thoughts, and suggestions. So since this is a recorded one, I also want to offer anybody watching this that opportunity. So please feel free to see me in class or send me an email. Thank you, and I look forward to a good semester with you.